Welcome to the Big Bonding Brush with CNK. I am CNK, Chrissy Noel Kinslow, and we are going to paint a masterpiece together today. So I just finished with the miniature masterpiece of Banksy's Girl with a Balloon, or Girl with Balloon. There it is. Super, super cute. And now we're going to go big and we're going to do instructional. So, Banksy, 2002 Girl with Balloon. Let's get started. I have my canvas, my easel, my napkins. I have a variety of paintbrushes. I always have a big flat brush to get the paint on, and a variety of smaller flat brushes and little itsy bitsy brushes as well. I have my agua water right here. I have my palette. I use a glass. You can use a paper plate. You can use your little palettes with the little individual sections. You can use your hand palette, whatever you want. I like to use a piece of glass, and so that's what I'm going to be using. We have red, black, and white acrylic paint. Now, Banksy's Girl with a Balloon is spray paint stencil on a brick wall. So we are absolutely going to be embracing our own brushstroke because we're going to be doing it in acrylic on canvas. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. We're going to start by mixing a really light gray. Got our white. Get that blobbed on there. Woo! Who arted. And our black. Oh yeah. We love black. Makes many, 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 many shades. White makes tints and black makes shades. Isn't that fabulous? Okay. Let's get our big brush. Let's get some paint on this canvas. It is just dying for paint. Take our big brush. Let's get it wet. Wipe it off. And bring a little bit of black. That's my version of a little bit of black. Over to my white. I want to mix quite a bit of paint because I'm going to be covering this entire canvas with this gray color. So mixing it up, and it's okay if it's not totally mixed up. You can blend it while you're on the canvas. So as in all of my paintings, I work with stretched canvas on a board. It makes it really easy to just hang right up onto the wall. So we don't have white edges. We're going to paint all the edges. And in addition, we're going to paint our painting to where it wraps around the edges as well. You'll see. So let's start by painting the very top white. Or not white, but this light gray. Okay? Bring it on down the edges. There we go. Along the other side. Whenever you can see canvas, actual pores of the canvas, I always call it a naked canvas. Okay, let's get that paint on the front. I'm going to probably be painting faster than you are, and that's okay. The beauty of the video is that you can pause and paint at your own will. At your leisure. You can get some paint laid down, and acrylic dries really fast, but occasionally you do need to take breaks to let it dry so that you're not making a mess of things. That's a great time to go pop some popcorn or have some dinner or, you know, whatever. I'm just going to paint all the way along the edge to the bottom. I'm not going to worry about painting the bottom right now because that's going to be a darker gray. So I'm not even going to worry about that. Okay, around the edges and the whole front. There we go. Looking good. So we're gonna let that dry for one quick second. Now's a great time to pause. And then when we get back, we're gonna mix up a darker gray and draw some lines out. We're gonna do some white, get the bricks laid out, all of that. It's gonna be beautiful. We could have done a solid white background, as I've seen many of the girl with a balloon done on just white background. But this street art was done on a cement wall, and I just think that the cement wall is gorgeous, and so I want to highlight that. And so take a little pause and we'll get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, should be dry, and if not, then that's okay. Still, nonetheless, we are going to take and brick this out. Better put my glasses on. Now, looking at the bricks, there's 4 layers of bricks here, and then we have this whole darker corner that we're going to work, and this whole line, there's the pavement or the sidewalk, and then this is the beginning of the wall, and then a power box there. So we're going to get that all drawn in. We're going to start with the lines going across, the horizontal lines, and we're going to use white, pure white for that. So let's get some pure white. If you don't already have any, I mixed all mine up. I like to use a lot of paint. Okay, so I've got my fine tipped brush and I got it wet, wiped it off, and I want it to be very fine. These lines are going to be sketcherly, well, preliminary, and really light. So we don't want to glob on a bunch of paint. We do want to start by finding, first we're going to draw the sidewalk. So we're going to take, I like to do the dot to dot, where you take a dot and you put it on the edge. This way you don't slope down. And then you find the same height on the other side and you put the dot. And you can even find the same height in the middle and put the dot. And then you're going to connect the dots. Just like so. You're just drawing it on, but you're drawing it with a paintbrush. There you go. I suppose if you wanted to, you could draw these lines out with pencil, but I challenge you to not do that and to just go for the paint. Just paint it on. This line is going to be covered up with darker colors, and like I promised, I do like to go around my edges. So I'm going to bring that line around my edge, right there, and around my edge on the other side. Okay, so then we have the beginning line, which is taller on the left side than it is on the right side. So I'm going to do that dot to dot again. We're going to go up higher on this side. And then we're going to go lower and lower. See how I did that? Okay. Now I'm going to connect those dots again. Connecting dots. And just lightly drawing it out. Around the edge. There we go. Looking good. Fear not. If you think you messed up, or you're like, ow, drat, it's okay, because we're going to go over it. We're going to add lots and lots of layers, and you'll have an opportunity. See, I want this side to be higher, and so I'm actually going to come over here and go higher, like that. And see that other line? I'm not even going to worry about that other line because I am going to be going over it again with more colors, more shades and tints of black and white. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to divide this, the rest of the canvas, into 4 bricks, 4 layers of bricks. So we're going to find the middle point, which is going to be about right there. And then we're going to find the middle point over here. Right? Does that look right? Yeah. It's a little high. A little high. Let's get that line drawn in there. Ever so lightly. Don't worry about picking up too much paint. This is your light white grout. There we go. Yeah, it was a little high. Excellent. And around the edges. And around the edges. Sweet. Now we're going to take that section and divide it in half. There's my dot. There's my dot. Let's go for it. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Ta-da! And around the edges. Did I say that already? You'll hear it many times. Okay, let's divide this bottom one too. Go here. It's a little higher over here. And there. Gads. Okay. There we go. Good thing I'm not a mason. Oops. Oopsie. I have to embrace that imperfection for sure, because that was caused by a laughter. Okay. Great. Now let's take a look here. We have, it looks like kind of 4 going across too. But what I'm looking at is this line right here. Primarily these bricks. Okay? So, we're going to go right here with this first brick. Okay? Following me? And then this line goes down to there, to the second brick. It's kind of got this weird little deal here that goes like that. And let's wrap it around. right? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect that line to this corner on up. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start by going, I like going down. So ta-da! And there. And then this line, actually there's a little line that goes there for this next brick. Goes there. Following me? Let's continue up here with this line. I want it to be perfect. I think that this might be stairs. That's pretty good. And then continuing it around top. Oh, I didn't continue that brick around the top. There we go. That's good. Excellent. Now we can go and we can finish up with these bricks. So, this brick, we got 1, 2, in the middle of that. There we go. There we got we're getting our bricks laid out. Woo! Go Mason. Okay. So this goes like so. Sure, it's up with that brick. And that brick. Down on this one. There we go. Then definitely have some different size bricks there. I'm not going to get myself hung up on these bricks. Let's get them laid down, people. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, not a bricklayer. Give up my day job. Sweet. Bricks laid. Excellent. Okay. Here we go. Now's where the fun begins. Not that that wasn't a hootenanny. But here we go. So I'm picking up my smaller flat brush, getting it wet, wiping it off on my towel. And we're going to make a darker gray. So I'm going to bring some more black over to the gray that I had mixed up. Or if you used it all, then just bring it over to your white and let's start again. kind of nice if you're mixing it right next to the last gray that you used, because then you can see how far off you are. I'm liking that color. That's nice. Ooh, I just added, let's see. Okay, we're still good. Great. I have a nice little mixture of some darker gray here. And I'm just going to put that brush aside for the moment. I'm going to grab a smaller brush, get it wet, and I'm going to take a look at the lines and what is actually darker here. Let's start by drawing these additional lines through here. So this, there's a line that goes right along here, perpendicular with the other parallel line, like that. And then you'll want to wrap it around the edge and up around the top. Excellent. Running alongside that is an additional perpendicular. We've got one, there we go. Excuse my head. Try to keep it out of the way. Head and hands, head and hands. And around the edge. And then one more. This one you've got a little wider of a band here. Hello. I sometimes have such a wiggly wiggle, wiggle, wiggle with this hair paintbrush. How about you guys? Do I have to get my head in the way? There. Bam. So we've got that. Coming right along here. There's this little line that goes like that. And then this is all going to be dark through here. All of it. Darker. Okay, we've got that all mapped out. So, back to our big brush here. We're going to go along and dirty this whole wall. So I've got that darker gray, and I'm just coming right along this wall here, this brick. And this brick. And I'm going to show you all a little tricky-roo. So we're going to take our other flat brush that isn't dirty. We're going to get it wet. We're going to dry it off real good. And then we're going to go along here and we're going to bring this darker gray out like so. This is all dark through here. And then I'm going to wipe off my paint, get it really clean, wipe it off, and then do these little swirly marks, which will blend it. wondering if it picks up some of that paint and shows through. It just adds to the whole texture of this. And then even bring your little dirty brush over here every now and again. Dirty it up. Dirty up this brick. See that? It's starting to turn out. Great. All right. Let's go back to our small brush that's loaded with paint. Let's get some of these other areas darkened up. So this whole area needs darkened up. And I'll wrap it around the side. And this brick needs darkened up. Yeah. And around the side. Cool. Let's go back to our dry smudger. Let's just kind of smudge. Get some of that, pick some of that up. See, you can kind of pick the paint up, wipe it off. That way you're seeing a little bit of that light under there. Then you can take that dirty little brush and it's kind of spackle it through here and there. Just kind of dirty up the neighboring bricks. Getting rid of that white as well. Cool. Super cool. Okay, let's go up to this here brick, this triangle brick. And it's a pretty light, except for it's got a little bit of smudging along here. So let's smudge it out there. And let's smudge this whole side. Smudging is that the word I'm looking for? All of that is going to be darker. And it's going to be even darker. We're going to pull out black at the very end. Taking our dry brush. Kind of smudge it. Smudging. Move that paint around. Keep it light on there. That brick's going to be light or darker. Okay. Soften that whole edge. Oh. Yeah, this whole thing is going to be much darker. But we'll start with getting the layers on. All right. That edge. Soften. Nice. Sweet. This triangle right through here is dark, so let's fill that in. Not completely. There's a few little white spots too, so we want to. We can always go back in with our lighter gray and pull out some lighter highlights. But there we go. I've got most of it. Now I'm going to go through with my dry brush. There we go. Sweet. Good. And don't forget about this top. Almost did. This middle one right here. There we go. And Excellent. Get around the edges. Great. Bring a little bit of that darker down in there. Again. And let's start bringing it over in here too. Okay. So working on this little triangle. Just going to do some little splotches here and there. Around to the top. Don't forget the top. Dry brush. If you have too much paint on there, wipe some of it off. Here we go. Pay attention to the top. Give the sides attention. Looking good, looking good. Feeling great. All right, let's make an even darker gray. Actually, pause. Before we make that darker gray, let's get this layer right down in here. Let's get some paint on that. So coming down here. Remember I said you would have an opportunity to fix that line. It is happening right now. So let's get that gray in there and we'll build up some layers on top of that. Excellent. That whole area filled in. Starting to look like a concrete jungle. I like it. So, there's a couple great documentaries out, don't forget your edges, out about Banksy. And one of them is called Exit Through the Gift Shop. It's from 2010. And then the second one is called Saving Banksy, 2017. And I'm sure that there's more, but those two in particular are really fabulous. I suggest you watch them if you want to find out more about Banksy, and or if you just like art movies. Super entertaining. Okay, let's mix up an even darker gray. Taking my flat, bringing some more black over to my gray, next to my gray. See, I have lots of gray action going on here. Sometimes when you're mixing paint, you mix and you mix and you mix, and it looks like you don't even have any paint left. So make sure that you pull enough paint over where you actually have a nice little blob. And I like that. That's a nice darker color. I'm gonna go through where it's darker and go along here. Actually, I kind of feel like I want to even go darker. So. Darker. Yeah. That's nice. Nice. There. It's a dark gray. I'm gonna set that brush aside. Go to a small brush. And we're gonna run along here. Oh yeah, I like that. Good choice. And I'm not running everywhere along there, this triangle. And I'm gonna quickly have my dry smudge brush ready. That's smudged. So it's not such a harsh line. You know? There we go. Kind of like almost watercolory. Get this top. Don't forget me. It's nice, like also when these paintings are hanging on the wall, as you come around the corner, you can see the painting. It's nice. You'll see. You'll see. Smudge it. There we go. Let's get a little dirty right there. Super random. Using that brush, that clean brush, clean dirty brush. And whenever I feel like I have too much paint on it, just wipe it off, get it wet. Yeah, nice. The brick should be a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna pick up some of my light and bring it in there right now. Wow. Just like so. And it kind of goes up a little bit here. Goes up a little bit there. Okay, dry brush, which I didn't have ready. Chew. Blended. Oh, that brick looks pretty good. How are your bricks lining up out there? Good. Good, good, good. I'm gonna bring some of that light up in here too. Yeah. Okay. Back to the dark. To the dark side. Little bit in there. And let's get that. Tap it in. Ooh, put a little there. A little bit here. Soften those edges. There we go. Nice. Ooh, that looks real good. Okay. All right. Let's go back to that dark. We're going to bring, just going to do a whole line right along here. The top. All the way down. Down. And you know the process. That blended. Mostly darker on that side, so I'm pulling it this way. And then this is dark down here, I know that. So a little bit of here. Ooh, yeah. Okay, let's get that dry brush. Before it dries, this is the thing, you gotta just work little by little, piece by piece, brick by brick, or it'll dry like that did. But fear not. Just going in with a little more paint, and if you get it too dark, which this is darker brick, you can go in with the light like we did on that brick. Darken that up. Excellent. Right along there. And then, oh, here's my big brush, bigger brush. This is all dark through here. So I'm just gonna get some paint all on here. Okay, and around the edges, dark. Look at me, I'm triple fisting it. And then blended, blended. And all along here. But really, I have too much paint right there. So I'm going to clean off my dry brush. Dirty it up here and there. Here and there, here and there. Okay. And then, okay, one of these brushes has got to go. That's gonna go back there. Here we go. That dark gray, we're gonna go right along here. Good. And this is my blending brush. Cleaned off. Smudge it in. All right. All right, all right. Good. And that's nice and smudged. Get a little speckling here and there. Speaking of which, let's get some speckling up in through here. Speckling. That looks good. We want to make sure and leave that light because that's the light side. And with our dark, we want to get this whole strip. There we go. Looking good. And however you got to get to your painting, whether you have to lay it flat, whether you have to stand on your head in a yoga position, whatever you gotta do to get those lines drawn out, you can do that. All right. And around the edge. Don't forget the edges. Looking good. Okay, we've got these little bricks down in through here. And we should probably do some darkening right through here, right? So let's do that. Let's do a little speckling through here. Let's darken this whole kind of a little bit here and there, here and there. We just got to make sure and get through with our dry brush, which is ready this time. I'm kind of messy with it, you know? A little bit here. Ooh. Oh, didn't mean to get that messy. Okay, don't forget to bring it around the edges. Yep. That's a nice sharp line through there. Get some of this paint off of here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go through with a little bit of the white, or a little bit of it through, or not white, but light. A little bit there. And a little speckling through here. Getting there. Oh, are we? Yes, we are. Once we get the wall done, then we can actually get to the painting. But it's looking good. All right. So, let's just do a teeny bit of light through here. I could work on this brick wall all day long. At some point, you just gotta walk away. You got to know when to roll them. Alrighty, so let's go back to a nice fine brush. Let's pick up our dark gray and barely put it on there because we're going to be doing this line right through here, the power line down to the power box. So here connects around right here at this corner. And you just want a nice, fine, straight line. Follow that brick down. Maybe that's why that brick is laid out so funny. Yeah, we'll blame it on that. Goodness. And then we're going to go all the way down to here. Right there. There. And then we're going to do a little U. Square U. There we go. And then our power box will go right there. Just a little teeny circle right there. If you want to put it in. And this crack kind of comes down in through here. And there's definitely, we haven't been doing any of the texturing that we need to down at the bottom. So let's do that. we're going to take some of that dark gray and let's bring it into this just here and there. Okay, and don't forget the sides. Let's get that mushed in. And then I think we should even bring some of that lighter down in here. Ooh, hi. Add in just a little bit of street credit here. Get some little bit of light in there. Man, I just picked up some white. Swirls. That's nice. On the edge. Okay. Now we need to bear with me. You ready for this? Shenanigans. Here we go. We're gonna flip it. Oh, what in tarnations are you doing? Well, we need to paint the sidewalk. And the sidewalk is dark gray. Let's go with the dark gray. The first thing that we need to do is paint all along the top so that it can dry. The top or the bottom. The bottom, which is now the top. Get that with the dark gray. Careful, because you want that straight line. Okay. And around the edges. There we go. And then let's get that sidewalk painted. Focus. Focus, Daniel-san. Okay. Fantastic. Cement. Sidewalk is in. And now the entire canvas is officially painted with paint. Woo! Crowd roars. All right, enough of that. While it's flipped over and we're waiting for the top to dry, we're gonna go in and we're gonna do a little bit of these black lines. Easy peasy. We're not gonna, we'll do just fine. Okay, so here we go. I have my fine paintbrush and we're going to just barely get the tip wet with paint. So we're going to do some very fine lines, very fine indeed. Starting with this whole line right along here. So. Along here. Get the edges. You guys could make this a drinking game because a lot of the paint parties that you can go to, there's drinking going on. So you could do a drinking party where every time I say, don't forget the edges, you take a drink. But that might mean that you really forget the edges. So I'm just going right along this line with black. Nice. And then this line over here, as well as all of these lines, are going to be black. And then we'll do some blending. Let's get the cracks of the grouts. Done first, and then we'll do some blending. There we go. Okay, all along here. It's making this corner look real dark and dismal. And don't forget the edges. I'll get to that. Here we go. I just did all 3 edge lines. We're gonna go all the way along, beep, beep, beep. Just like so, ever so lightly. Ever so lightly. There we go. 1 line. 2 lines. 3 lines a lady. I know. That's what you were thinking, right? Okay. That's good. Those are the lines that we're going to need to darken. And now let's clean our brush so that we can get a very fine black line to go back along this metal pole here. Ever so lightly. It's kind of an accent line. Doesn't even, it's okay if it doesn't even cover all that gray. I'm preferring that it doesn't. Just to make it pop a little. Nice. Okay. Now, let's go along here. Cement line. A little bit of black. Go. And it doesn't need to be a solid line all the way across either. Okay, good. Awesome. Let's take that line right away. And where's my smudge brush? Oh, that's not it. Here it is. So I like to have a lot of brushes. And let's smudge that. Smudge that line. Smudge it out a little bit. There we go. I like it. Okay. And on that note, we're going to go do some other black smudging. I have my little brush, but I'm loading it. I'm going to start right here. This is all dark, black. So I just started around the edges, smudging it in. Bringing that anywhere where we have previously done a line, we're going to smudge that line. Right? Looks good. Bring in a little black. And smudge. Oh, that's a wiggle move. I liked it. The wiggle move. All right. Watering down. Let's see. This guy needs some smudging. And let's get some smudging down here too. Let's fill the top or the bottom. Ooh, feels like it's dry. Let's flip it. That is looking good. Right? Am I right? I think it's looking good. And I think yours is looking good too. I just know it. No matter how it turns out, as long as you're enjoying your process, that's what we're talking about. Right? There we go. Let's smudge that in. We are getting close. Very, very close. Smudgy, smudgy. This is a dark little corner here. So let's get some smudging. Nice. Oh, that's a nice little dark corner over there. Yeah. We lost that line, but if we smudge it all this way, like a so, then you have that back. Nice. A little bit here and there. go. We'll come along here. A little bit of smudging. Go. Okay. And then this is dark under here. So I'm going to add some shadows under there. Yep. Along here. There you go. Okay. That's done. Now we're going to go light. Okay, so if you want to take a moment and check yourself, pop some popcorn. We're going light next. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of accenting to the white bricks here and put in that power box, and then we can get to Banksy's work. So what I'm going to do is pick up my big brush. And I'm going to pick up some white. We're going to go along each one of these here bricks. We're going to really wash it out. So that's our goal here. Got that first brick washed out. See that? So again, we're going to take a little bit of white. Just going to run along. Let's do this brick. Run along one edge here. Then I wipe off, get my paintbrush cleaned off. And brush it out. It's like I'm even able to go over to this next brick. There we go. Nice. I like that. Okay, picking up some white. Running along. Cleaning off my brush. Oh, forget your edges. Oh, I'm just doing that top brick too, because I got a lot of paint on there. You don't want it too washed out. You still want to see your white grout lines, but we want it a little bit lighter for sure. So a little more textured. Let's get the top. I just picked up some more white. There. It's nice. Picking up more white. There we go. Clean that brush off. Just getting this whole brick area whitewashed out a little bit. Around the edge. Go. Okay. Again, I could sit and work these bricks all day long, but at some point you got to know when to roll up, know when to hold up. Woo, give up your day job. All right, I am feeling real festive about that. So we need to make sure that our bricks are dry before we move on to the next step. But one more thing before we take a little pause, and that is that we need to put in that power box. So picking up your white, and you're gonna do a little square rectangle-ish box. The power box, I would assume that's what it is. Yep. There we go. So we have ourselves a power box. And I'm going to add a little more white to that. And we'll probably end up doing one more little coat on that when we get to doing the highlights on the balloon. But for now, we need to let that dry. And next step is the girl. Okay, let's do the girl. Are you ready for this? You're going to want to find your finest brush, and we're going to break her down into shapes, because that's what it's all about. I mean, Banksy did stencils and he spray painted on cement walls when people weren't looking. And so when you're making a stencil, you're breaking it down into shapes. You're cutting out these shapes, and that's what we're going to do, is we're going to break it down into shapes. So here we go. I'm going to put my glasses on for this one, and we're going to make sure we have our fine brush and just a little teeny bit of paint. Let's look at the hand. Let's start with the hand, which is really just two little light fingers. You can always go bigger on this. So we have one finger, this comes to a little crook right there, and then we have another finger that extends out just a little further and connects like so. Okay, and then we're just going to widen that hand area a little teeny bit, like that. We could take that finger, make it a little more prominent. Pull that one out more. There we go. That thumb is about right there. Let's get that thumb in there. connect that. And then a little bit of her thumb palm. So now, so we don't get too carried away, we want to bring that arm to about right here. Right, let's do that connect the dot thing again. So bring just a line over is all I did. And now I can fill it in. Right here, it goes up just a smidgen, like a so. And then smaller wrist, and it widens gradually. And it ends the same way as the top did, just coming down like a so. Excellent. And then fill that area in with black. Great. We've got her little arm. I go in, oh, ever so carefully, and just work that finger a little bit. There we go. Nice. There's the arm. Okay, let's go. Let's clean off our brush. Get a nice fine point. And let's go on up here to the face. The nose is just a little, it's a little over the arm there. And it's just a little tiny hook of a nose like that. Don't want to get too much on there. Then you have this top lip. It's a little teeny line. And then you have bottom chin. The chin right there. And a little curve for the chin. Coming on up. And now we're looking at the shadow of her hairline. A line like that. And then like so. That. Okay, let's get this circle, the back of her head in there. Go. And remember, you can always go bigger. Goes down below her chin, like that. And then this hairline comes right up to here, like that. And this is some of her blowing in the hair wind. Blowing in the wind hair. Like that. Okay. Great. And let's connect that over there. Let's bring in that second piece of hair. It's like about there. And it's 2 strands going out a little further than her upper strand. I'm just going to draw my lines in and then connect them. go. Fill in that area with black. Fill in this whole area. Got the neck coming down. Yeah. It's good. Now we're going to fill in this whole hair area with black. Make sure you give it a little wiggle every now and again, because it's not totally, the back of her head is not totally round. It's got a little hair to it. Okay, getting that filled in. Great, I'm gonna wipe off my paintbrush here so that I can get in there and do that little eye. So it's coming from the hair. Make sure you do a little curve to it. It's just a little dot. It's like that. Okay, great. Let's move on to the back of the shoulder. Comes down like this. Right. So right here, we're about right where her shoulder is. And her dress comes in. And then a little dress. Come out a little more. There we go. And then it comes a little curve. It also is blowing in the wind. There we go. And right here, just got a little line. Here we are. That stencil goes like that and up, over. Okay. So got that. Let's go back up to the shoulder. Got this little line coming out like so. There we go. Maybe bring that down a little more, like that. Let's look at that shape. Look at the positive and the negative shape. Okay, and let's get that filled in. Nice. Our hand is simply about right here. Right? And it's like that. It's like a little mitt. See that little mitt? And then I'm going to connect that. Isn't that interesting? Bring that down a little more. There we go. And then bring it on up here. Let's just break it down into shapes. This looks like a skeleton bone through there. Little bump, right? Got this little blob there. Oh, we can connect the dress. Like so. Okay. We've got this very thin line goes through there. Great. And then we've got this area out here. Let's see. Comes like about right in there. Runs along like here. There. That is looking good. Very nice. Yep. May not be exact, but it's exactly how we want it. Okay, let's fill that in all with the black. I have a joke for you. Did you hear about the artist that always took things too far? She didn't know where to draw the line. Pum, 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 pum. All right, enough of that. Let's get this filled in. Black. There we go. There's that girl. She's floating. She needs legs. She doesn't have feet, but she needs legs. Hold her up. Okay. Great. We've got her filled in. Now let's do the legs. So, they start back here, have a little bit of a curve to them, and come down to there. This front one is about right here. A little bit of a knee. And down. And the bottom is just like that. Okay, let's get that filled in. Nice. Nice. Great. Okay, love it. I am thinking I would like to go back in and work some of that face just a little more. So I'm gonna just has a little more. Just a little more hair, a little more in the face. I like it. I like it. I really, really like it. Okie dokie. So she's done, I think. Again, you could sit there and work her and work her and work her, but let's get that balloon in there. So, fine brush again. Super, super fine. Going up here to about where the balloon is. And lightly draw that line in there. There we go. And then there's a little squiggle. That. Good. Okay, our paintbrush is all wiped off. And let's get some red. Excellent. Got red on there. Got red, we got the highlight of the balloon, and we have the light box. I'm going to start with a little brush, a little round. So I can get my outline down. One side. And the other side. Take a bigger brush, my medium flat, small flat. And get her filled in. All right, so if you've enjoyed yourself during our big bonding brush paint party, you can always send me a tip at PayPal. It's right up there. You can PM me. I'll set you up with my Venmo account. Yeah, you can also book a virtual party. You can book me to come into your home no matter where you live. I don't care. I'll travel. You pay, I'll travel. I'll come to your next bar mitzvah. We need this little bit of a balloon tail right here. Excellent. Okay, let's get some white. And we're done. So exciting. I'm going to use my other flat brush. Clean it off real good. Get some white. Big old blob of white. You can wait for your red to dry, but I'm going to try it. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm going to come down here first. Get that power box. Second coat on the power box. Okay. Big blob of white. And here we go. Right up here in the corner. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Should have waited for the red to dry. That's okay. I like the way you work it. Goodbye me. Goodbye me. Yeah. All right. There she is. Banksy girl with balloon. Let's sign it. Don't forget to sign it. Because it is yours. Don't sign it, Banksy. Not that he signs anything, but don't sign it, Banksy. Sign it with your initial or your signature. Mine is CNK. CNK. If you had a good time and you love the big bonding brush, please subscribe. Doesn't cost a penny. All right. And there we have it. Banksy's girl with balloon.